I guess moving on to the last game that we're going to be breaking down this week, the Bengals versus the Packers. This was, I want to say, a sad game to watch. Um, both teams combined to miss about five straight field goals. It was probably one of the worst kicking exhibitions I've ever seen in my life. Um, it was one of the lowest scoring games, but Aaron Rodgers and the Packers were able to squeeze out a victory. Brandon, I know you had some money on this game. How nerve wracking was all this experience for you?
My blood was boiling. The worst part was I had the Packers at -3, which means I didn't even win in the end. I just pushed it. I just drew, um, and it was not exciting watching a team drive down to the 30-yard line and then miss a field goal 5 times in a row. It was just it was one of the weirder games I've seen. Across the league, there was a ton of missed kicks. There was 12 missed PATs going into Monday, and then obviously there were a couple in the Monday night game. It seemed like everybody's kickers were missing. It didn't. It didn't seem to matter. I would chalk the Bengals Packers one up to the wind. It was, or it looked pretty windy, but the flags were waving, so I could assume it was super windy, and it seemed to affect the game. But it was very stressful to have a -3 spread and watch kicker after kicker just miss field goals. Even when Evan McPherson kicked that one, he thought he made it and it just went wide. Overall, it was just a brutal game to watch. It should have been a little bit more exciting, but there's a lot of kickers that did a lot of shitty things this weekend.
Yeah, you can say that again. Jin, how did you find this game? What were your key takeaways from this game?
Joe Burrows is trying to kill himself out there. Obviously, with everything that's going on with the Bengals, and I think the Bengals also showed a way to to stop the Packers, as well as figure out different ways to beat them. I know that they didn't beat him, but you know Aaron McPherson, he is a rookie kicker. He had his shots. It was just an odd game. But it just seems like the Cincinnati Bengals are pretty legit this year with Joe Burrow, and they might have a shot at making the playoffs, but they need to build Joe Burrow, an indoor facility, as well as upping their equipment, because he is getting killed out there. He's gonna take a hit like Daniel Jones did and be concussed for the next 4 weeks.
Did you guys see the interview on Pat McAfee show for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday? Um, Aaron Rodgers talked about the handshake after the game with Joe Burrow, and the one thing he said was he's like, I told him he has to slide if he wants to survive. Uh, that he's just pushing way too much into the play, and he just needs to slide more so he doesn't get injured when he's trying to rush.
Yeah, that's definitely sound advice. You don't want to have your quarterback there, playing running back and trying to slam himself into guys. That's not a recipe for success. We've seen that with Cam. We've seen that with quite a few quarterbacks. You want to take the Tom Brady approach. Maybe not to the extremes that he goes to playing at 44, but don't take as many hits and you'll be able to stretch your career a lot longer than if you were trying to run into every offensive lineman, run to everyone and trap people over. That's not the way forward, guys. I mean,
He also had a season-ending injury last year, so I I'd like to think he'd be more cautious going into this year, maybe taking a little more sliding approach. Hopefully, he takes the advice that he was given this weekend. Um, but pliability, man, it doesn't
yeah,
lie.
true, very, very, very true. I mean, it's worked for Tom Brady. It can work for anyone else. The guy's not athletic at all, but look at him. Um,